Hi, I'm Rhiannon Faith, and I'm here to tell you a story. So I'm going to tell you another Girl Scout story. I previously mentioned I had a leader who was very keen on us roughing it on all occasions, and that was very good and very valuable. But one particular experience of our camping was quite memorable for all the wrong reasons. So we were out in the Anza Borrego Desert, and during the day we were exploring different like water areas. Like there would be collected pools and you could swim in them. Probably a little sketchy. We did it anyways. But we were tent camping at this particular location, again, Anza Borrego. I don't know if this is the only place there, but this is where we camped. Our tents were way down the hill, okay? And in between the layout, as you drive in, there is a restroom area, and then there are some covered areas with tables and barbecues so you could set up outdoor cooking. And of course, we had our whole little situation to do that. And then down the hill, there was a nice flat area where you could set up tent camp, like a tent situation. So we were down there. In between the tents and the bathroom was a cemetery. Isn't that wonderful? Yay. Now, nobody had recently been buried in this cemetery, but it still existed, and there were still grave markers, and it was still partitioned off a cemetery, all right? So you can imagine my delight when, as usual, in the middle of the night, my body's like, hey, you know what's a good idea? Let's go to the bathroom. So here I am in maybe 5th grade, and I've got to go to the bathroom, and I have to convince one of my fellow scouts, who, by the way, is equally petrified of this dynamic, that we should traverse from our tent in the middle of the cold. Okay, desert cold, desert nights are freezing, and desert days are hot. This is just the way it goes. It's like living on the surface of the moon, right? This is what you get to work with. So I have to convince one of my fellow scouts to get up and go with me, because buddy system all day long, right? You never go anywhere by yourself. You always have a buddy. So I've got to do this. I waited too long, so I'm nearly ready to pee my pants. And as we're going up towards the bathroom, we're scaring each other, but not on purpose, like accidentally, because, you know, one would sort of fall behind, or like their flashlight would skim something and it'd catch your peripheral vision and you're like spooking. The fact that I didn't pee myself full stop is really a victory. The logic and thought behind bringing a bunch of 4th and 5th grade girls to a tent spot like this escapes me. I never did that kind of thing with my troop, but I'm curious, do you have any horror stories of random and potentially, you know, horrifying tent camping when you were a scout, or otherwise with your family? Drop it in the comments. Come back again. I'll tell you another story. Thanks.